Okay, I'm about ready.
You're watching an intimate ritual between 67-year-old Gene Rogers and his caretaker inside his Central Austin apartment.
The first routine is to get him checked for his temperature, then prepare to get him dressed.
A daily part of Rogers' life
She can do it better than any of my other attendants.
that keeps him going
And they go on straight every time.
and independent as possible.
Okay. And this is called a sling. I have to put him in it and put him in the lift. I'm strapping him down and with his straps on his shoes so he won't fall out of the chair.
A half-century ago, Rogers broke his neck and cracked his skull after falling from a cliff while hiking near his Ohio home.
A month after I broke my neck, I was scheduled to spend 2 weeks on an aircraft carrier.
He shows a photograph
But yeah, that's the only picture I have.
from before the accident while in a Navy-run high school program.
Yeah, breaking my neck kind of put the kibosh on that program.
Left almost totally paralyzed, Rogers first lived as an adult in New Mexico, making a life of traveling and adventure,
I like to live in the world, so I spend my money traveling the world.
but settled in Austin in the mid-1990s. Rather than get care in a state-run institution, he enrolled in what Texas calls a Medicaid waiver program for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities to receive assistance at home.
Living in an institution is not an option for me. I would hate to say what I would do if it came down to that.
His ability to live on his own, rather than be a ward of the state, rests solely on having a caregiver, if he can find and keep one. Texas pays attendants who care for tens of thousands of disabled clients living in either small group homes or in their own home a base wage of $8.11, with little pay raises over the past several legislative sessions. In fact, the base wage has not increased more than $1 since 2013. That means people like Rogers often have difficulty getting life-sustaining care they need, and attendants like 76-year-old Shirley earning a wage well below what they could easily find at a fast food job.
Well, I like to help people that need help. I enjoy being with people.
Because it is able to add to the base wage through other savings, the agency she works for pays her $10.50 an hour, roughly the state average for a caretaker. With Texas now estimating that there are about 5,200 open caregiving positions statewide, advocates say the low pay has now resulted in a massive workforce shortage and overworked and underpaid caregivers.
It is the worst compensated job in Texas.
Dennis Burrell is the director for the Coalition of Texans with Disabilities.
If you ask people with disabilities who is their most important health care providers, very few will say their doctor or their therapist or their nurse. They'll tell you it is that lowest paid person on the totem pole, the community attendant.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average pay for home care and personal attendants nationally was $14.50 an hour, $4 more an hour than in Texas. The state has known for years about the issue, flagging it most recently in this November 2020 report saying, quote, community attendants across Texas often face financial insecurity from low wages and lack of benefits such as health insurance. Addressing these and other challenges related to the community attendant workforce demands a coordinated statewide approach.
I work 7 days a week.
In this house outside Georgetown,
You have a seat, Christy.
Serena Akfall takes care of 4 women with disabilities around the clock
Yes.
and works more than 100 hours a week.
Okay.
She keeps those hours because of the difficulty her employer has finding other caretakers to cover shifts.
We're very short-staffed, so the ones that are left have to pick up all the shifts.
Akfall earns $11.50 an hour.
As a state, I would like to see more money put in that.
State Representative James Frank chairs the House Health and Human Services Committee.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think in almost every business, whether it's government run or private owned,
You want spaghetti?
there's less money that goes to the people who actually do the work than should.
It's very stressful at times because it can be really good. We have really good days, and then there are days that they will have their episodes, and you just have to, just prevent them from harming themselves and others. Yeah.
With Texas now about 3 months away from its biennial legislative session, advocates say they will again press lawmakers to give a boost in pay to caretakers. Rogers says Shirley deserves more, but he's not certain either of them are considered a priority.
The legislature, from my opinion, considers us expendable.
Although Shirley has worked with Rogers for about 5 years, he has struggled to find caregivers for evening and weekend shifts, to the point that he has had to call firefighters or paramedics to come help him out of bed or his wheelchair. Meanwhile, Rogers puts his faith in the caregiver who has stayed by his side, hoping the state will add more to her wallet.
You still want an Austin bite?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a real caring person, very compassionate.
And his feeling of security that he will still get the in-home help he needs to live.
The state thinks, well, there's dedicated people out there, regardless of what we pay them, they'll be there. I don't know how long they could hold on to that notion.
Raising the base wage for caretakers to $17 an hour by 2025, as advocates are asking, could cost Texas more than $3 billion. But those advocates point out that it will ultimately save Texas money by having people in their own homes instead of more expensive nursing homes. For the KVUE Defenders, I'm Tony Plahetsky, KVUE News.